Hi guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Ringside Recap. I am your host, Nation the Ninja, and let's get started with Friday Night Smackdown. So guys, welcome back to the show, and I am so glad that Friday Night Smackdown is like 2 hours this week, or until WrestleMania again, when they're going to probably try to bump it back up to 3 hours. But because I swear, them 3 hours on SmackDown, sometimes it's not worth it. Because if you're just going to show the same 15 people that you show every week, what's the point of making this 3 hours and then half of it is just commercial? But anyway, my expectations so far, it's going to be pretty weak. Because Monday was kind of lackluster, but maybe it's gonna be a little bit better, because normally for a holiday theme episode, so since it is almost 4th of July, and I'm gonna just go ahead and say happy 4th of July to everyone. If you don't see this today or you see it tomorrow, make sure you're having a safe holiday. Be safe. Make sure your animals are inside. Make sure y'all tell y'all Terrys to make sure to back it up on their motorized chairs and keep it going. But like I said, hope y'all enjoy your holiday, and hopefully this Friday Night Smackdown won't be as daunting. And I want to give a thank you to everyone. Now we are up to 50 subscribers. I can't believe how fast this channel has gotten to 50. Hopefully I can make it to 50 more, and hopefully 2,000 for people who enjoy my content. And I want to continue to make more content for you. But once again, thank y'all to everyone who subscribed, everyone who's watching. Even though it's not that many of you, I am still very grateful that y'all watch and still like or just interact on the comment section or anything. So thank you so much. But after all that, let's get started with the show. So y'all, the show opens up with the new undisputed champion, Sami Zayn. And Sami Zayn is basically talking his trash, saying that I'm the new champion, I told you so. Everybody who said I was going to win the big one, now look at me, I'm the champion. It's just him going through that whole spiel. So I'm not gonna give y'all everything he said. So then he basically started talking trash about Cody's, and then Cody comes out, and Cody was like, you know what, you were the first person to congratulate me when I won my championship, so I'm gonna be the first one to congratulate you because you won your championship. And they shook hands, and then Cody tried to leave, and then Sami's like, where are you going? I know what you're trying to do, you're trying to get your rematch back. But he basically said to Cody, remember when you said that if I became the champion, you will basically leave him alone, basically. And now I'm the champion, so now you're going to have to leave me alone. And Cody didn't like that. You can just see in his face. So then Jay Uso come out, and Uso was like, you're my dog, Sami. You're still part of the family. You're my family dog, and all this. And he's like, but this is your warning shot. And then, he does his bow warning shot thing he do now. And Sami was like, you want to bring this championship back to the family. When did you become Roman's lapdog? Everybody been saying that to Jay for a while now. So he was like, as long as I remember, I'm still part of the family. So I think he's trying to say he's still an honorary Uso. I don't remember the story on how he left Roman and them, but he's saying that he's still part of the family, so maybe he is still a Uso, still part of the bloodline family. I really don't know. But Sammy's like, you know what, whatever, I don't want to face neither of you, and I'm going to be a champion in peace and try to walk away. But GM Adam Pearce come out. Now, if people who do not know, GM Adam Pearce is taking over GM Nick Aldis because GM Nick Aldis and Gunther got into it. So Nick Aldis has been suspended for who knows how long. But I think it's because him and Gunther are going to have a match together. But anyway, GM Adam Pearce was like, Sammy, where are you going? You need a challenger for your championship. And Sammy's like, hold on, don't I have a say so about who I want to face? And Adam Pearce is like, no, because I'm not Nick Aldis. So on Monday, he's going to defend his championship on Raw, and tonight it will be a main event with Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes for the championship. So I'm pretty sure he's probably going to look on at, I'm pretty sure he's going to look on later and see who's going to win. So then we have a quick little segment with Kathy, and she's with Charlotte, and basically she's asking Charlotte about everything that happened last week. And people who do not know, last week Charlotte cost Jade a shot at the Women's U.S. Championship against Tiffany last week. And Charlotte basically said she's getting her payback because since Jade want to be in Charlotte's business, Charlotte's going to be in Jade's business. So that was that. So then Alexa Bliss comes out, and she's a little bit upset with Charlotte because Charlotte was at Night of Champions, and Alexa was like, you should have called me and whatever. And Charlotte's like, you was injured and all this other stuff. And they both try to compare each other when they were both injured by the other girls in the locker room. So then Charlotte basically called out Alexa for working with Tiffany because Charlotte doesn't like Tiffany. And that was a whole beef on its own. But, yeah, that was a whole beef on its own. And then Tiffany came out, and she basically said she never wanted to work with Charlotte anyway, but she doesn't really have a problem with Alexa like that. Then Chelsea comes out and basically backs up everything that Tiffany said, and that is it. So we had our first match of the night. It was Chelsea, Tiffany, Charlotte on one team. Then you had Jade, B-Fab, and Michin on another team. And this match was okay. It's a typical tag team match for the ladies, but I'm pretty sure y'all kind of already expected it, that Jade and B-Fab, Michin, they all won their match against the rest of the ladies. So the next segment we have is Sammy and Nick Aldis getting into it because Sammy is complaining that he says that he is a Smackdown superstar. He should not be wrestling on Raw. And basically Adam was like, this is a good opportunity to show yourself as a champion and fight on 2 shows. But good luck with that, Sammy. And I might bring some people over for Smackdown to help you with your confidence. And then he just walks out of Sammy's face. So then Sammy ends up getting back with Johnny Gargano, and he's still in his planking thing that he's doing. I guess y'all like it. I don't care for it, but he's still doing that. And then he disrespects Candice by making Candice hold his phone to take a picture of him and Johnny. And that was it for that. So the next match of the night, we had a AAA Cruiserweight Championship match. It was Rey Fenix, and I'm not even gonna lie to you, I cannot pronounce that man's name. He's from AAA. I'm gonna post him on this side somewhere. I don't know how to say his name, y'all. I'm not even gonna try. I'm not even gonna butcher it. But between Rey and him, fantastic match. You can't expect nothing like this match was just fantastic. I can watch Rey Fenix wrestle all the time. He's amazing, so underrated. This is probably a good reason why he is a champion in AAA. He's great. And also to the other guy from AAA, he was great too. This is probably going to be my favorite match of the night. But Rey ended up picking up the win, and he is still the AAA Cruiserweight champion. So then we have an interview with Kathy, and she's talking to Julia about the match with Kiana James last week, and now her and Kiana are no longer a tag team, and Blake Monroe ended up coming and making her debut by attacking Julia. So Julia basically called out Blake and called her a coward for jumping Julia, and she's not scared of Blake. So then Kiana comes around, and Kiana is like, that's typical you to bite the hand that feeds you. So then Blake Monroe ended up jumping Julia, and then Kiana James started talk some smack to Julia while she was down, and then Blake Monroe also just attacks Kiana James as well at the same time. So I look forward for them. I look forward for those three going into a match together. So the next segment of the night, we have Jimmy Uso and Jacob Fatu, I was about to call him a Uso, basically talking about the plan that Roman sent out for them to go find Solo. So as they was talking about it, Royce Keys pop around, and he was like, you can't call no one, Jacob, you haven't checked in with me. And Jimmy is like, he's part of the family now. He's part of the bloodline now. He ain't got to worry about you. We're worrying about finding Solo. And basically Royce said that, family don't have to be blood. Family is loyalty. For 14 years, me and you been rocking together, and I can't believe that you basically are following under Roman's orders. And basically, Jimmy was trying to stop him from trying to talk sense to Royce, and basically said, well, he's not with you now, he's with us, and then walks away, and then Jacob follows Jimmy out. So I guess that is the side he's picking for now, but we're gonna see in a couple weeks or so. Okay, y'all, so the next segment, we had Trick Williams and Lil Yachty, and before Lil Yachty can even say words out his mouth, Carmelo comes out and basically says that Ricky Sainz could not get the job done, so now it's his time. And then he goes on this whole rant to himself on how he deserves it, and Trick is only making the U.S. Championship look like an accessory. And he said that's the workhorse championship, that's the main championship that everybody should be wanting to get after. And, basically calling Trick out for him not being a decent champion. And Trick says, his little line about his backhand, and then smacks the mess out of Carmelo, and then he tries to walk away. But then as they were walking away, Carmelo did like a dive over the ropes and splashed over Trick Williams, and that pretty much ended that. So them two are going to have a match next week. I'm not sure for the title or not, but I know they're going to have a match next week. So then it jumps to Danhausen and Zack Ryder. Danhausen has put an experiment over Kit and Miz again. They're still confused. They're still not who they are. And Zack Ryder is like, what's going on here? And Danhausen is explaining his experiment. And he was on the phone with somebody from New York trying to get backup because on Saturday night main event, the little PLE that they do, he's gonna have a match with JD McDonough because him and the Judgment Day are having this beef with each other. So Zack Ryder said, if you need help, I'll be there, I'll be your help. And that's when he said he got someone coming from New York, and I'm thinking it's gonna be somebody from the Knicks are gonna come out and help him. So then he asks Zack Ryder to turn a little knob on his experiment, and then I think The Miz and Kit Wilson swapped they swap minds. You know how like cartoons where they just swap each other's personalities? I think that's what happened, because Kit ended up saying awesome like Miz, but Miz didn't really say anything. But yeah, that was that segment. Okay, y'all, so the next match of the night, we had Brie Bella versus Lainey Reed, I think, from Fatal Influence. And I'm not gonna lie, this match really wasn't nothing to care for. As you expect, the rest of Fatal Influence tried to get involved, and they end up distracting Bree and Paige, and Lainey end up picking up the win for Fatal Influence, and that was that. So the next segment we had, it was Damien and R-Truth and Fraxium. They was having a hot dog eating contest because 4th of July is tomorrow. So they were just joking around having that. So then the War Raiders come around and they basically wondering if their title match with Damien and R-Truth was coming to light. And basically Damien was like, we don't know because like Nick Aldis isn't there, so we don't know if the match is even going to happen. But if it does happen, they are willing to compete for it, and it's going to happen on Smackdown within the next couple weeks or so. So the next segment of the night, it was Cody and Finn Balor, and basically it's Finn Balor going to give some encouragement to Cody, and Cody was like, you know what, I never even told you welcome on to the SmackDown roster. And Finn was like, before you do all that, you make sure you focus on your match tonight and get the title back, because me and you have never had a title match before with each other, so go get that back and good luck. So that was that. So then after that, Tama Tonga ended up coming around, and it was like, you know, Finn, I thought about what you said, and I talked to the elders, and they told me to do this. And Tyler Tonga ended up jumping Finn, and basically said, Tama said that he's got to close up the books and the history behind it, and it starts with Finn. So it's going to be probably Finn versus Tama Tonga next week, I'm pretty sure. I feel it, but I guess we'll see. Okay, y'all, so the final match of the night, we had Cody Rhodes versus Jey Uso for the number one contender spot for Sammy's title. And I'm not gonna lie, this was a decent match. I enjoyed this match. I honestly thought I wasn't gonna like it, but it was really good. And surprisingly, Solo did not get involved with this match. I thought he would, and I guess Jimmy and Jacob did not find Solo anywhere. So all in all, as expected, Cody won the match, and now it's going to be Cody versus Sammy again for the championship, and that ended Friday Night Smackdown for the week. So that was the show for today, and I'm not gonna lie, I really did not care for this episode at all. I'm not sure about everybody else. It did have some good moments. I enjoyed a lot of the segments. Like this, there wasn't really a lot of matches for me to be like, oh my god, this match was the best match, other than Rey Fenix match, but and probably Cody and Jay's. But if you want to hear more, if you want to know what else I said, look for my YouTube shorts tomorrow morning. I'm not gonna post anything tonight, but I'm definitely gonna post all morning because I have a free day tomorrow, so I'm gonna post all day tomorrow. But that was the show. So thank you for watching. Thank you for following me through this journey. Now we have 50 subscribers. Thank you so much. And I hope that y'all continue to show your support for my channel, our channel, to build together. If we can share our love for WWE content, and maybe more in the future if I can get my schedule right. Maybe later on in the future we do more other promotions. But once again, thank you. Please be sure to like, follow, subscribe, all that. Follow on all my socials. I'm going to put it somewhere on the side somewhere. But once again, thank you so much. Be sure to be blessed, love one another, and mental health matters. Bye.